I hate doing it. So,
All right. Okay. I'm probably already live and it's just not telling me. Okay, now we are.
okay.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I know you're probably tired of seeing our faces, but that's okay. We're gonna dive into something today that doesn't get talked about too much, but it really needs to. And it's something we've been talking about, I feel like, for our past few lives. And it's what happens whenever work communication breaks down and then it follows you home, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially I feel like now, like in this industry, majority people that we talk to are remote workers. There are still some people that work in office, but there are a lot, majority that are working from home. And, we're not just talking about missed deadlines or tasks falling through the cracks. We're talking about that version of leadership where you're the translator, the fixer, the emotional buffer between people who don't hear each other sometimes. You're always the one holding the line between the team members, personalities, expectations, and it can be draining.
hmm. And I feel like we've all been there. I know I've been there. There was a season whenever I would walk out of the office, I was done. Like I was exhausted. And it's not because I was working crazy hours, but because I feel like we just spend all day navigating miscommunication or trying to figure out what each other were saying. Hopefully I said that right. Because there was no clear communication. And I feel like I'd walk into the house just carrying that weight, whether it be, it would come in forms of maybe snapping at something small or just like shutting down in a conversation because I could not mentally hear it anymore, or, just I just needed just wanting everybody to be quiet because I needed to rest because I couldn't just like I couldn't process one more thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and the truth behind that is that it wasn't burnout, it was from the workload. It was burnout from the emotional labor of leadership because when your team can't communicate clearly and when you're the only one that's constantly making sense of things, it wears you down and you can lose your patience, your peace, and eventually your passion for the work.
Yeah, and I feel like this translate. I mean, I know a lot of owners carry that a lot,
Yeah.
but a lot of team they feel the ripple effect of it, right? And
Mhm.
that's the talk that, or that's the cost that no one really, they don't talk about it, right? And that ripple effect can come in, poor communication shows up in your relationships. It's going to affect how you respond to people you love, but everything around you. And it's going to leave you feeling just like nobody understands you. I mean, you might feel like a crazy person and you just don't feel like yourself anymore. And you just start wondering, like, why does leading have to feel this hard? Why is communication this hard?
Yeah, and that was a turning point for us when we finally stepped back and we were like, okay, things need to change. That's when we discovered things like the working genius and Maxwell disc and stuff like that. Not as personality buzzword because that can also be like shiny object syndrome, but as actual leadership tools, like what they're intended for.
Mhm.
They gave us a way to understand how to communicate with each person and how each person communicates with us, and to see where the tension was kind of coming from within the team sometimes. It also helped us lead with clarity instead of frustration because we all knew where we were going, and stop assuming somebody's silence meant they didn't care,
Mhm.
right? And kind of stop taking everything personally. You know what I mean? It wasn't some of that, like it was just a lot of it went down to communication.
Yeah, and when I tell y'all, these once we had, that understanding and these tools, everything shifted, right? We started we stopped over functioning. The team, we started owning our own stuff with confidence, our own decisions, our own work. And the conversations, they all felt lighter. Nothing felt like it was weighing us down. And I just feel like for the first time in a long time, we would walk out of the office and nothing got dragged home.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you've been short with people you love lately, and if you've walked into your kitchen still caring what happened at 2 p.m. in your 2 p.m. meeting, we've been there, and you're not failing, you're not bad at leadership. You're just
Mhm.
trying to lead without a map, and that's where we come in.
Yeah, and it's not about, it's not just about the tools. It's about finally understanding why the communication keeps breaking down and fixing it. And, just how to lead without losing your peace. So if any of this hit home, you feel free to drop a comment or DM us, whichever works for you, and we'll send you some more info and we can just talk through it with you. Just no pressure, just real support and seeing how we can help you.
Yeah, you don't have to do it by yourself. You're not alone. A lot of people say they feel alone.
Mhm.
And you don't have to choose between being a good leader and being present in your personal life. There's a way to lead that doesn't drain you, and it starts with understanding how communication really works.
Yeah. So we will be talking to you guys soon. Hope you'll have a great rest of the day.